The Bible is a book on evolution. The Bible is a book about evolution because it's talking about animals who got evolved by gods. And those gods are monitoring and observing this new species or creation and evaluating them on their ability to overcome their animal nature. So if you take an animal or a primitive monkey and you mix it with a reptilian, then you have the human being who has the reptilian brain and the mammalian brain. So why do you have a reptile brain and a monkey brain? Think about that. And then you have a neocortex, your logical thinking, rational brain on top of that. Let us create man in our image and likeness. So when the gods evolved this lower creature, this is the struggle we face now. Because sometimes you wonder, how can human beings be so brutal, so violent, so evil, so wicked? Because you got to understand evolution, evolution, the dilution of evil. Because we started out evil and we're still very much evil. Look at the things that we do to each other. So all these religious books, all these different religions were designed to evolve the spiritual condition of man and woman so that they will evolve morally to become better people. But then we argue and fight over the different religions. People have to understand that religion, particularly the Judeo-Christian religion, is esoteric information. What do I mean by esoteric information? It's occult, hidden in plain sight. It's ocular. It's occult, esoteric information that's coded and hidden in stories. You could almost call some of them children's stories. It's high-level information that was coded into stories. We've read the stories, and now we fight and argue and kill over stories that we don't even know the meaning of. And that's sad and pathetic as a human race, as a human species. We don't even understand the Helios Biblios, the Holy Bible, the book of the Sun book that has all the character profiles for all the different types of people walking on the planet, from the prostitute to the priest. We don't even understand the book, the cosmological stuff that are in that book, what it's really saying. We get caught up in these stories, these children's stories, and we argue over whether it happened or not when it's really irrelevant, because what's the message in the story? The truth is, the Bible says we were born and shaped in sin and iniquity. We are a disgusting, terrible people. We started that way. Killing, murder, violence, rape, all that nasty stuff. The animalistic, reptilian, carnal nature. This is the nature that has to be crucified or destroyed. It's all about the destruction of the flesh as seen in the symbolic representation of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, overcoming the physical through its destruction in order to release the spirit so that the spirit can dominate the lower nature. This is the fight. Your higher nature dominating your lower nature. The spiritual part of you dominating the physical part of you. your neocortex, logical, rational thinking brain, overcoming your reptilian brain. This is what it's called, bruising the head of the serpent. This was the prophecy. Yeshua, Jesus, had to bruise the head of the serpent. He had to overcome the reptilian nature. This is the process that we all have to do. Christianity is nothing more than a 3-step process. It's overcoming the reptilian nature through the destruction of the flesh in order to give rise to the spirit. That's it. Bruising the head of the serpent, stomping its head, destruction of the reptilian brain, through crucifixion of the flesh. Jesus' body was beaten, torn, bruised, and crucified. That means overcoming the physical desires, lusts that cause you to sin, controlling them, destroying them. And then his side was pierced, and water, which represents the spirit, came out so that the spirit can be released, so that the spirit can dominate. This is all symbolic interpretation. The Bible is a book that needs to be subject to interpretive value. It has to be interpreted. It's a book of symbolism, metaphor, allegory, story, fable. And this is what people don't understand. And that's why they don't get it. And some of the worst people on this planet are religious people. Just like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the religious men, the zealous men, the pious men, the high priests, the people who are fake, false, pretentious, try to look righteous, try to make themselves appear so good when they're the worst. So I challenge everyone to re-examine that Bible and reread that book and try to apply it to modern day life, because there's a message in there and we're all missing it.